Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Friday night live stream of the Georgia Shooting Connection. We got good guests on here tonight. All of our guests are good, though, but I'm really looking forward to tonight. So we're glad y'all are here. We got a lot of topic ideas. We got the Emperor down there. We're going to talk about some 350 legend in that video he put out the other day. I was hoping CW would be on here where he put out a couple of videos also. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about 350 Legend. I got to do a couple of unboxings, and we're going to have a busy night. So, welcome in. Kyle, start us off like you usually do, brother.
Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, we got some great people here tonight. It's going to be great. We've already been having a pretty fired up discussion on everything, and hope it carries out into the live stream. Glad everybody in the side chat could make it. My girl's in there cooking me dinner. Thank you, baby. My dog's being a good girl. Let's see if I can get this right. I'm going to kick it off over to Tim. You're muted, Tim.
That's a good start right there. And actually, I really don't know what to say. Just thanks for being here, guys. We'll try and make this entertaining and educational.
Now I don't feel so bad.
Well, you ain't got a script. You don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No knock. I just was glad.
Yeah.
Well,
You said it well.
When you're muted, you can't say anything you're not supposed to, right?
Exactly.
So, welcome in, Tim. It's been a long time. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Who you want to intro next, brother?
Oh, let's go over the Kingpin.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, an honor and a pleasure to be on the Georgia Shooting Connection with everybody. Everyone in the side chat, thanks for joining us. And everybody have a good night. And I'm going to get it right this time. I've been messing up. In the upper right-hand corner, the Crazy Scotsman. Because I don't turn my camera on and stuff.
I appreciate it. It's good to be here. It's Friday. I was supposed to be leaving for Mrs. Holster this week, but unfortunately, due to funds, that was not happening. So I will be going next week to Mrs. Holster. And for those of you that are in the know, we have a special surprise for Mrs. Holster. So stay tuned for that video, because once I get there, I will make that video and we will post it. And if we can, we'll try and maybe go live. But I know the internet there is kind of sketchy, so we'll probably just do a video and upload it. But stay tuned for that. That's coming. I'm looking forward to get up there to see her and help her out, go through some things. And then the only other thing I got before we get started, guys, is July 4th is fast upon us. And if you have not already heard about Let Freedom Ring, everyone needs to make sure July 4th that they go out and they shoot some steel and they let freedom ring. And they upload it to YouTube at 5 o'clock Eastern, and let's blow up the YouTubes. This needs to be the biggest, the baddest, the best year ever. We are in one of the biggest fights for our rights that we've ever been in, and many people have said this over the years that we're in the biggest fight for our rights. It's no joke this year. It really isn't. And I'm not trying to be one of your fear-mongering pieces of shit, whatever that's out there. And there's a lot of them. I'm not that. I'm being straight with you. We are in the biggest fight for our rights, and everyone needs to get out there and let Washington know you ain't taking it. It's not going to happen. You ain't taking nothing. And with that being said, we'll swing over to AR Guns. How are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Glad to be here. Appreciate you all inviting me. As Mario said, I must be Roy Orbison this week with the shades. But yeah, glad to be here. I've been reloading some brass. I hope everyone's doing good in the side chat. Good to see you all. And take it away, Kyle. I guess it's Kyle next.
Kyle's already been.
Oh, did he? Okay, I forgot. Sorry.
You're freaking my man out up here.
Yeah, I was kind of seeing that. A little hesitant.
But
Sorry.
we're very glad y'all here. And all right, quick question for the panel. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Roy Orbison. Go, Kyle. Kyle likes Roy Orbison.
Oh,
Tim
yeah.
likes Roy Orbison.
Thumbs up.
Tim likes Roy Orbison.
I give it a thumbs
So
up.
we have a comment out there from Kai or just some guy. You can shoot whatever the hell you want, my friend. The whole point of it is blowing up YouTube with videos and making sure we're getting out there and celebrating freedom, celebrating our independence, and that's the whole thing, man. Celebrate freedom. And this year more than ever is making sure that we let Washington know and all these politicians know that they are not taking our freedom, period.
They're trying.
Okay. Kingpin said he's giving Roy Orbison a thumbs up. That leaves me and you, Scotsman.
You know what it's like to sit here and look at bright lights over here? I got two of them, actually.
Scotsman might not even know who Roy Orbison is.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not even being funny.
Part of rock and roll. Yeah. In the early years.
Well, I know rock and roll, but I don't know who he is.
Pretty Woman. One of his hits.
Oh, okay. All right. Pretty Woman. All right. Okay. Now I know. I got you.
I think Roy Orbison was an excellent songwriter and a decent enough singer. I just didn't like his voice. His voice grated my
He had a weird voice. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm not gonna. All right. So I'm not gonna say he had a weird voice. He had a weird tone.
Mm-hmm.
The tone was the key to it. So as a guitar player and all the music that went with it, they were excellent. But as far as the tone and how he came across in his voice, that was the problem I had.
But at least he was no Bob Dylan.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I want to know who was the first person to ever tell Bob Dylan that he could sing. He was an excellent songwriter, but he couldn't sing his way out of a 5-gallon bucket.
I'm not even giving you that, brother. You know I love you, but Bob Dylan was a poet. He was not a songwriter. And
Exactly. He was a heck of a songwriter, but
I can't even go there. I despise Bob Dylan. I don't think he wrote one good song. No, I take that back because I know he wrote a lot of songs, so I will take that back. The songs that he sang, all trash. I know he did write a lot of great hits for people though. So
Lay Lady Lay was not too bad in the early years.
yeah, he wrote.
So I'm gonna step in here for a second. I'm gonna stand up for Kingpin because I know Kingpin personally, and Kingpin is like me. He's straight to the fucking point and does not mess around. And yes, we don't cuss on this channel that much, and I apologize, Jamie, but I'm just trying to get my point across. So Kingpin is exactly like me, where he doesn't mess around with words. When he says that particular person didn't do a very good job, they didn't do a good job, period. That's all there is to it. They may have had a hit here and there, but overall, I'm a Kingpin. It's just the majority of what they actually put out there was trash.
You know what's ironic about that? John Lennon wrote a lot of songs in the Bob Dylan style and actually admired the hell out of him. But that was the Beatles.
Yeah, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, to start this off, Bob Dylan was one heck of a songwriter, and like Jamie said, he was a poet. Yep. I did not care for him as a singer, but he can play a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
My point was that I've never heard Kingpin say anything bad about anybody, but he said, quote, I despise Bob Dylan.
Yeah. And look, just for a little bit
I'm not
of
a big
context,
fan either. So.
I've got a Grateful Dead tattoo on my back. So it's not like I'm anti-hippie and the whole classic rock, like that type of scene. It's just Bob Dylan. Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna send Bob Dylan heading down the road feeling bad.
Well, see, I wouldn't do that because I technically, but I would never be around him to send him anywhere.
Right.
You didn't get the reference.
No, I got it. I was just being a smart aleck.
He got it. You just didn't get the bypass to the reference.
Oh Lord. Well, anyway,
I'm glad to see I'm in like company because I have never liked Bob Dylan either.
Yeah, I don't care for him.
I'm glad to hear this. I thought it was just because everybody goes on about him, but I've never liked him.
And in all honesty, that's a tough one to like. It really is. It's a tough one, man.
one of my uncles, I got two uncles that play guitar. Actually, I've only got two uncles on that side of the family. Both of them play guitar, and we used to love to hang out and everything. One of them since passed away, but he was a huge Bob Dylan fan. And I said, damn, Jeff, how much dope did you smoke in the 70s?
All right, so I got a topic real quick. I got a topic, and this is going to be interesting, especially for Jamie, because Jamie's older than all of us. So what was the music you grew up with? So for me, and I'm going to go first, if that's okay. I grew up with Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, Halloween, and many, many others. I'm a metalhead, and that's all there is to it. So if you guys ain't into metal, you probably don't know, but I'm a metalhead. So that's all there is to it. I love it. It's a way of life. It really is. With that, let's throw it to Jamie. Jamie, what did you grow up with?
Charlie Pride, Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, George Jones. Then I got into high school and it was Foreigner, Elton John, Kiss, all those kind of bands. And then as I got out of high school and kind of went back to my roots, listening to more country. But I love all the classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Leonard, Southern rock especially. Huge Allman Brothers fan.
Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. One band I don't particularly care for, besides Bob Dylan and Roy Orbison, would be Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Sometimes Young, because a Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
That's right, Jamie.
All right, go for it, Tim. What did you grow up
I am going to have to ditto everything you said, Jimmy. Just to the T.
So let me interrupt for just a second. Tin Man, yes. Pantera, yes. Old Soldier, Steelheart. I'm old school, man. I'm old school.
You got to throw in Terry King.
My turn.
Slayer. You got to have Slayer in there. You got to.
Slayer.
I did love Styx, Daniel, and Sergeant Devil Dog. I did not like The only one of those bands, well, I liked Skinner and I liked Uncle Ted. 38 Special I did not care for because they threw beer on me at one of their concerts.
Wow. I've been to 38 Special once.
Yeah. And I saw Charlie Daniels and ZZ Top in the Fox Theater in 1980 on the same concert. I saw Ted Nugent back when all he wore was a loincloth. That was at Georgia Jam, and then we started having these outdoor concerts with Atlanta Rhythm Section. They called them Champagne Jam.
I remember them.
Those were all great. And one thing I will correct the Scotsman on, because I don't get to correct him often. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, but I think AR is older than I am.
Yep, probably.
What year were you born?
55. When rock and roll. 1955. 56 when Elvis had his first song when I was a baby.
Back when they were making Thunderbirds, baby. 1955.
Yeah.
I was born in 1962, so yeah, he's a clip older.
I started out in the third. I remember the first, second, third grade. I started when the Beatles hit America before they hit their first hit. Elvis was in the mix. Led Zeppelin over the years. Alice Cooper when I was young.
I have to respectfully tell you you're wrong, and simply because if you look at Jamie's beard compared to the nothing on AR's face, I'm sorry, but Jamie rolls. So yeah, Jamie is way older.
Just think how many people are in the chat right now. As soon as Jamie started that first sentence, was everybody wanted to be standing next to Jamie at that 38 Special concert. Everybody in this chat, you wanted to be there.
I was trying to think who was with him when I seen him in Atlanta. I don't remember.
I can't remember either. But then again, if you remember the 70s, you didn't really miss the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right, Tim?
Right.
He had no idea what I just.
I'll have to add on my list was Ozzy Osbourne.
All right, so we're gonna go complete old school. When I'm gonna ask a question here now, I want to know a truthful answer. When was the last time you actually took a telephone and you had to stick your finger inside the hole and turn it to dial the number?
At my grandmother's house, 1988.
All right, so 1988 for Kyle. Who else?
I don't remember.
I'd say
But I know
probably
I've still got a couple of them.
1994, something like that.
The only reason I can say that is because they came out with cordless phones around 88 or 90. I just blurted out 88. It was somewhere around there.
For me,
We got a cordless phone that you didn't know how to use.
1990, I think, for me. 1990.
I think the last time for me was around 94. I think 94 is when my grandma died. That was the last time we used that phone. I'm pretty sure it was like 94, 93 or 94.
I've been looking for one, actually.
You know, that's a hell of a way to end a conversation with one of them old rotary phones with the bell in it for the ringer. I don't want to talk to you. Bam! And you ring the bell inside there. You know, that's cool.
I'm waiting for the app, for the hang up app for the cell phone.
You do that stuff with the modern day smartphone or whatever. Hit the end button, shove it in your pocket. You rip your pocket off.
But now, wait a minute, guys. You guys jumped from a rotary phone to cellular phone. There was push button phones.
Yeah.
I know back in probably 86 or 87, we got push button phones.
And cordless phones.
Yeah,
You
that's
could
what I'm
actually
saying. We
walk
got my grandmother.
Mhm.
My dad got his mom a cordless phone, so she could just charge it and then sit back and watch the Braves in a recliner and all that stuff. If the phone rang, she didn't have to get up. He thought he was doing her a favor. Her problem was she thought it had everlasting life, and so she'd leave it on the little table beside beside a recliner for months at a time. And of course, the phone was dead the next morning, but somebody'd have to come pay her a visit. Now she's frying chicken and okra, and oh, thanks for stopping by.
All right, so the side chat's going out there pretty good. So we got Sergeant Devil Dog, 1985. Tin Man. Let's see, Tin Man was in the late 90s. Big E was 2014. Red Raider was 87. Let's see, GGW Reloaded was 78. Tim S was 85. Jason Stewart was late 80s.
I'm gonna tell you something weird. I can still remember my grandmother's phone number from when I was a little kid, and it was back before we had to put the area code in front of it. It was 234-7288.
I remember those.
And the phone company made them change their number because the cable company moved into Rome when I was a teenager. That's probably 13 or 14, and they wanted that number 7288. Their number was 291-7288, but they made her give up the 234-7288, and what they changed it to, I have no clue.
All right, let me give y'all a blast from the past, okay? I remember my grandmother's phone number a long time ago. I was a youngster. It was Green Tree 381, and you had to pick up the phone and talk to an operator. That's how small of a town I grew up in. Green Tree 381. And then after she got, when she got the rotary phone, it was 382-3705, way before you had to add the area code.
Yeah, I remember party lines, New Texas.
Yeah. I was
yeah.
just going to mention that you had a certain ring. If it wasn't your ring, you didn't pick up. You may by accident or whatever. But then my mom would always tell me, when you're on the phone, don't ever say anything you don't want somebody to hear, because other people are listening.
Do you guys ever have the time where you were, hey, I'm going to call Scotsman, and when you picked up the phone, Scotsman was on the already like there before you dialed the number? That used to happen all the time. You'd be able to pick up it only happened once in a while that it was the person you were looking for. But I guess it would be like before the phone started ringing.
I've had it happen at least once or twice.
Yeah. It was always cool when it was the person you were getting ready to call, but that was dumb luck.
Okay.
Well, the whole part to it is the phone never actually rings.
Yeah.
And it's just, a silence for,
10
10 seconds or whatever it is. And then suddenly someone goes, hello.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah, I've had that happen. I thought you meant some kind of mental.
You have that silence, and then someone says something.
Right.
Daniel, that was my girlfriend's number. What was her name? And there it is, right there. Jenny.
Remember how much cheap a phone bill was in the early 1960s or mid 60s?
What, $2 or $3?
Yeah, party line probably 6 if it's private. Somewhere in that ballpark, 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so just for I'm trying to be nice and not use swear words. Just for niceties, what is your phone bills now?
Mine's free.
Mine's free on my landline. I can't call out 10 cents a minute, but I get the line free to call in through Windstream.
All right. So my cell phone is about 98 bucks a month for unlimited.
20 for 5 gigs on mine. $20 a month.
Mine's free because it belongs to my company. So, yeah. Okay. Quickly, back to the reloading stuff, guys. now, now I'm watching Forrest Gump, right? Yeah, I know, Tim. We're all over the place. Oh, and somebody spelled Merle Haggard, Murle. It's Merle. So, one of my heroes. If I could sing like anybody in the world, I'd want to sound like Merle Haggard. If I could play guitar like anybody in the world, it would be either Eddie Van Halen or Glenn Campbell. I know. That's take your pick. I got a box. This comes from Andy79Z28. And I got a bunch of these little pieces of 6337 lead. And there's a lot of solder in that, so there's a lot of tin in it. So
Boy.
it's on the computer.
Crunch.
Bam.
Very much. And I got some bullets to show y'all. These are absolutely beautiful, guys. I had no idea zinc bullets could. Well, I did because Andy has sent me some before, but he's got a new process. Look at those if y'all can see them. Those look like antique silver. And these right here are 358, 429, 170 grain semi-wad cutter, and they're zinc, so they actually weigh 103 to 104 grains. And Tim, remind me to talk to you about these in a minute.
All right.
And then he sent me two different 223 bolts. One of them is this is an NOE mold 225-57 flat nose. I don't know if y'all can see them. It won't focus and it's in the bag, but those are.
See the bag. Yeah.
Those are. Can you see them?
Blow yourself up.
Barely.
Yeah, blow yourself up, Jamie.
Blow yourself up.
Yeah, blow yourself up, Jimmy.
Not in that form.
We're all getting knocked on the door from the
Say
ATF.
to a reloader, guys.
Tilt the other way. Down. Tilt down. A little more. A bit more. There we go. We can see now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut these open and show them to you, ain't I?
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, here's some that these are those missiles. Lee 309-230. 230 grain missiles, and they weigh 138 to 140 grains. Look at the size of them suckers, man.
So what caliber is that?
This is a 30 caliber.
Right.
These are like 300 blackout 30-06.
Well, Jamie, what powder are you going to use with them? And that'll tell me what powder I'm going to use with them. Then we need to go to the range.
I don't know, man. I'm probably going to be loading them in 30-06, so I'll probably use 48.95.
Do you guys keep recipes for your casting the same way you do for your load data, or is it kind of hit or miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock? Like you could cast 300 blackout today and then cast them tomorrow, and the only thing that's the same is the process. Like there is no recipe, I guess you could say.
Are you talking about lead recipe?
Yes.
Well, I'm casting from smelting all the way through. Is it just a process that needs to be done and it's the same every time? Where reloading, you can change the grain weight and change the crimp and change all that?
You can change every variable that there is in the entire process. But generally, for me, My alloy is usually always the same, unless I'm casting hollow points, and then I'll throw some soft lead in there just to soften it up a little bit. But I never run the pot totally dry, so there's always some leftover in there. But our wheel weight hardness here in Georgia is generally about the same. It's a lot harder than everybody else. So if I have a little bit of soft lead left in the pot, it's not a big deal.
So there is technically, I keep calling it a recipe, but you guys know what I mean by that. Like all the notes that you keep on your reload data, do you keep the same type of notes for your casting?
I do not.
I don't either.
I don't, but I will from now on because I got this high 10 content. So I'm going to try to start paying a little bit more attention to what I'm doing because usually I just I got an idea of what I want my hardness to be, and I know about how to do it with clip-on wheel weights and stick-on wheel weights, and then I got some more pure lead. Then I got some linotype. But now I got these, so I'm gonna have to call Andy and have a talk with him about what kind of mixing I need to do with that, and then start keeping notes as to like for hollow points or pistol bullets. I like to use about probably 75% stick-on wheel weights or pure lead, and then 25% of the others are half and half. Um, George Boy 44, the pastor always says for hollow points, mix them for good expansion, mix them half and half. So
Half and half. That was always the rule of thumb here, half and half.
yeah, and some of the wheel weights we get in Georgia are hard as brick, and then some of them are not that much harder than the stick-on wheel weights. It's all about who made it, the brand, and the mix they use. But yeah, that's a good point, Kingpin. Is we probably should keep better notes on our alloys than we do because we've all got books about our bullet testing.
Yeah, that was a good point. I generally I'll melt all my wheel weights down, the stick or the clip-ons, and then I'll take my stick-ons and other really soft lead, melt those down, and I'll put like 3 ingots of the clip-ons to 1 ingot of the soft lead, and that I hadn't had any problem with it. But yeah, I probably should keep better track of it.
No, I have not opened the garage door. You guys won't be able to hear. There's a storm brewing, and the winds are blowing, and the rain's blowing in, and
Yeah, we had a couple of them today.
yeah, I got up to 92 here today. I know on the East Coast and West Coast that ain't nothing, but when it's been in the 50s and 60s, and all of a sudden it's 90s, it's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Andy's got the calculator spreadsheet, and Tin Man does his stuff. Big Al, I'm glad to see you got that arcing finally.
So if you take, Kyle, you were talking about putting softer lead in. Is that, once again, I'm just going to use the term that I'm thinking in my head. Is that like diluting the lead,
Well,
watering it down, if you will, to make it softer?
your standard hammer-on, clip-on wheel weights, the ones you take the hammer and beat around the rim of the or the lip of the rim on the wheel, they're generally going to be harder. Then you have your stick-on weights that stick to the inside of the wheel. The ones you see that are only, if this is a wheel, they're in here, not clipped on the rim here.
Okay, well, the best way to say it is when you have a clip-on wheel weight, you have 3 different materials. You have an alloy, you have lead, antimony, and tin. When you have soft lead, it's normally just pure lead. It's just lead. So when you add lead to an alloy, you're actually diluting the tin and the antimony, which
That's a good way to say it, Tim.
the tin is actually doesn't make it harder. It makes it more,
Malleable.
that's the word, Kyle. Thank you. And the antimony is what makes it hard. That's, like in Magnum shot in your shotgun, that is normally a lead and antimony mixture, and the antimony is what makes it hard.
Okay, so with the wheel weights that you guys have, when you melt it down, I've seen guys, you've had to scrape, and I don't know the term for it, so I'll call it schlag, the trash that rises to the top, you scrape that off and get rid of it. Is that the tin that melted off? Is that the antimony that melted off and just leaving lead in your pot? Or does that other metals mix together and that's just...
Sometimes if you let it set or overheat it, the tin will separate and come to the top, and that's why you flux it. But the most of the stuff that comes to the top is trash, dirt. Maybe there may even be what's the A word I'm looking for? What you kill rats with?
Arsenic.
Arsenic.
This is your friend. When making the ingots, you're going to melt everything, stir it up, all that stuff. You're going to get the trash and the dirt and stuff out of the top of it. It's still very hot. Pour your ingots. Now, when you're casting and it's in your pot, some of that will separate yet again. Sacrifice a spoon and stir a lot, because that is the antimony and the tin and everything trying to separate. If you keep spooning it off, you're going to end up with pure lead.
Yeah, and what you want to do is you want to add either some wax or wood,
sawdust,
flux it.
Yeah, yes, it really pays off having someone that works at Home Depot being in this house. Need another sack of sawdust? Yeah. She'll go over there to where they cut the lumber for the customers, empty the thing. The guy that works in lumber will say, thank you. And she'll be, no, thank you. Bring it home. Hey, I've got flux.
Yeah,
but I only really do that when I'm casting the ingots. Once I'm happy with the ingots, got all the dirt out of them and all that stuff, all I do, if it's in my pot, is I restir it. Get everything mixed back up again.
Well, I do try to keep mine flexed.
I will flux mine with wax in the pot, but when I'm smelting them into ingots, and I always flux with sawdust making ingots, but I always make a point to do it before I scoop out those the clips. Always.
So when you say
so just a quick point, real fast. Jamie, explain to people out there who may be new and don't understand this. What are we doing when we flux?
We are introducing carbon into the mix to mix the antimony and tin back into the alloy, because under heat it tends to separate. Kyle showed that candle right there. I thought it was dynamite. I thought he was going fishing this weekend.
I did too for a second. Yeah.
No, it's just a candle. What I was going to say is Goodwill is your best friend. You can find these bundled up in packs of 10, 20, or 30 for like $4 at Goodwill. I've got plenty of candles. My problem is if power goes out, I can't find a flashlight to find the candles.
Well, that was my next question when Jamie kept saying wax. Is it just, I was going to actually say, we just cut a candle and drop it in there?
Yep, exactly. That's what I've did. That's why there's that much wick hanging out of here, because the candle used to be that long.
My wife uses scented candles in the house, and when the scent's gone, I normally take the wax and use it.
Oh, you got wintergreen bullets. You
Yeah,
got menthol bullets.
yeah. Little red berries.
But I will tell you this, Kingpin, the first time that you introduce wax into really hot lead, you will be surprised. And I'm not going to tell you why. Stand back a minute.
Yeah, it should pop and pop, right?
No, it won't pop.
No,
So no matter what you do, the first time you start casting, if you've never cast before and you start melting lead and you throw something in there, whether it be wood shavings or wax, whatever it may be prepared for the smoke. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Be prepared
there's
for
gonna be
the
smoke.
smoke.
Well, I mean, yes, it's going to smoke. But be sure and do it. Be sure and do it outside.
Yeah, until you get to the point where Kyle's talking about.
Tim and Jamie and Scotsman know exactly what I'm talking about.
So why don't you just introduce the sawdust or the wax earlier in the process?
Because you won't get the same effect.
Because it has to be molten.
You have to liquefy everything, and everybody's got to be in the hot tub, and then you add the bromine. How about that?
It's gotta. So in layman's terms, it has to be at a certain temperature. If it's not at that temperature, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, so in other words, in real layman's term, if the directions say boil water first, you got to boil the water first.
Exactly, Tim.
Should I tell him, Tim, or should I let him figure it out?
Yeah, go ahead and tell him, Kyle.
Okay.
He's got a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Well, when you throw, and you're only going to throw a piece about this big, right here, just that little piece is all you're going to throw in there. And you're going to throw it in there, and it's going to melt and cover the top of it. And it's going to start smoking a lot. You're going to stir it in there a little bit because you have to get it down in there. That way you mix everything up. Because what we've just done is introduce carbon. Make sure there's none of your wick in there. Save the wicks, though. They're useful. Once the wax reaches a certain temperature, you're going to have one hell of a campfire for a minute.
All right, so real fast. Let me interrupt for just a second. Jason Stewart, yes, MDF board will work. I'm not sure how well it will work because MDF is basically a mixture of all kinds of.
I don't know that I would use that. There's a lot of other chemicals. Just go to Home Depot.
Toxins in that.
Yeah, Home Depot and empty the damn where they hand cut the wood for the customers. Just empty that saw.
There's a lot of stuff in there, but if Jason, you're close to me, man. If you need help with any casted, reload, and whatever, dude, you're not that far from me. So just hit me up, and I'll come down and help you no matter what. So you're not that far.
Hey, Crazy Scotsman, can you do the world a favor and go down the side chat for us? Because you have ways of doing that I don't.
Oh, good Lord.
I'll do that.
All right, I got it. Hold on. All right, we got Tim S. We got Alpha Bravo. We got New Texican. We got Big L. We got Kingpin with us here and in the chat. We got William Ganley. We got GGW Reloading. Kyra, just some guy. Hobbies Hobo. And if I screw it up, it's not my fault. I blame Kyle. And that's all there is to it. So, that's all there is to it. Sergeant Devil Dog, G. Pushner, see, G23, Willie Bulletman, Broke Loader, Thoughts of an Old Soldier. Anyhow, anyway, whatever. I'm sure I screwed that up.
No, you were spot on, brother.
Tin Man, Ozark Spirit, Bottom Curious, Wheeled and well armed. Man, you're throwing me off. I'm not used to this. I have Allen for this. Let's see. Anyone else? Anyone else? Still California.
What's we?
Rallis Corvallis. And Big E. Jag 1. And K24. And I think that's all I got.
Willie's here.
I got Willie.
Oh, okay. Are you calling off on our side under comment?
Yeah, I'm going from the bottom up. I went from the bottom all the way up.
Gotcha.
As far as I could see.
Yeah, I want to reiterate about the sawdust in the ingots and then wax in the 420 pot, because wax the when the sawdust burns in your pot, it tends to want to clog up my nozzle and interrupt my lead flow. So
Okay, now I know I don't understand what I'm talking about. Kyle kept saying something about melting his ingots and then something in the pot. Those are two different things you guys are talking about.
yeah,
Like, so you're saying when you put your mold underneath and turn it on and fill it, that's not where you're going to put your sawdust. Is that what you're saying?
right. I'm using wax there, and we can use any kind of candle wax, but I prefer either paraffin wax or beeswax. I prefer beeswax because it just tends to do better and not clog up my spout. See, the sawdust makes carbon, miniature charcoal is what it is.
Yep.
And what happens is it'll block up, like it clogs up the pour spout, and it interrupts your flow. You have to stop casting until you clean it out so you get some lead out of the pot.
I'm gonna get into casting soon.
When you're making ingots, which is what you're going to put into your pot, okay? I use sawdust. Sometimes I'll use wax. Doesn't matter. I think the problem Jamie's running. Jamie, I think, misspoke a minute ago. He said the wax clogs up his pour spout. The wax ain't gonna make it to your pour spout unless you run it all the way down.
Yeah, I meant to say the charcoal clogs up my
the sawdust
pour spout.
when you stir it.
Yeah, the sawdust. Yeah, you're probably going to want to clean that out. I mean, you can use sawdust in your pot. It serves the same purpose, but it's less sensitive when you're making ingots. You just scrape it off, be done with it. Because there is something to be said of putting the flux in your pot, stirring it up, and everybody being happy. It'll always float back to the top. Just don't run your pot all the way empty. I don't know if Jamie was trying to run his pot all the way empty or if he misspoke or what.
All right, hold on. I gotta ask. So 10 minutes says don't put sawdust in your wheat pot. Okay, why? Because I do it every time and I have no problem. So what's the issue you have?
Do you stir it often?
Same as I do. Me and Tim Man's had the same problem of our. It freezes up. It won't come out.
I've had no issues with mine.
I haven't had that problem either.
But do you guys stir it a lot?
I do exactly what Jamie told me, what to stir it about every 3 to 5 pours.
Okay. I know Reloader 762, he's told me in the past, once he fluxes it for the first time, He doesn't do it again because he doesn't want that debris down in the middle of his mixtures, because it will get into your bullets and it will clog your spout.
So he just fluxes it and he just stirs up the mix
At the beginning, and then just leaves it alone. Now, see, Fortune Cookie 45 is actually even fluxed it and just left it on top.
right.
He's not even skimmed his off.
I stir mine every now and then. I'll put some wax in my pot and stir everything up and scrape off what little bit of slag will be there, because I've now remixed it and it'll stay emulsified, I guess you would call it. Boy, I'm using big words.
So Tin Man brings up a good point. At what point do you add the spruce back? I wait until it gets pretty low before I add anything back to it. And that's just me. I wait until it gets pretty low, then I add back into it, and go from there. I don't like to add like midway through or anything like that. I want to make sure it's a pretty low point and then kind of go from there, so that when I add it back in, the reason for that is so that when I add it back in, the temperature, when it reheats, it heats pretty evenly. It doesn't. So if you were to add it kind of midway through, it's gonna fluctuate how the temperature is. If you add it when it's pretty low, it's more likely to even out a lot faster.
Okay, what I like to do is I like to adjust the heat to where I add it every time I cut it loose. And that way it stays at a constant temperature. I don't like to wait until I have a bunch and then add it in, because it cools it off too fast, like you were saying. But I add mine just as soon as I cut loose. That way it don't bring the temperature down.
And what you're talking about adding is like the little chunks and stuff that fall off when you knock the bullets out, and the little scraps that are laying around. You're not talking about putting another ingot in the pot.
Right.
Because like you were saying, if you put another chunk of lead in the pot, you've got to wait for that to come up to temperature, not just melt, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, Kingpin, let me tell you something. I'm going to show you. I have visuals. It depends on what you're casting. If you're just casting regular bullets out of a mold and all you have is that little sprue on top, I'll wait till my little 6-inch skillet's got a bunch in there, which is when I'll get up, walk around, and move around, because I get stove up pretty easy. But if I'm casting buckshot, you see the little balls of buckshot down here on the bottom?
Yes, sir.
That's what you're using. All the rest of this is considered the sprue. Okay, that's a lot of lead.
Yes, sir.
So what I'll do is I'll snip the buckshot off, and then I'm left with everything you see here minus the little balls. And I'll wait till the pot cools down, and I'll put all that back in there for next time. Because I don't make soft buckshot, or anything like that.
All right, so
I'll fill it all up with that, and then let all that melt down in there, and then see how full the pot is.
all right, so for people out there that don't know, Kyle, what are you snipping that off with?
Just a pair of side cutters. You can use a pair of needle nose pliers, but it becomes really inconvenient. You can use this part of the needle nose pliers, but that's too much work. I happen to be a mechanic. I've got plenty of little small pliers with just cutter ends on them, and just cut them off.
Could you just rock them back and forth in your fingers and break them off?
You probably could, but it makes a cleaner cut if you use cutters. But I mean, you can pick up a set of cutters anywhere. Just
Wire cutter.
little bitty mini wire cutters. It'll cut right through them.
No, you're looking for a cleaner cut because just like any other projectile, you want it to fly more true. And if it's
Right.
not completely round, it's not going to go where it's supposed to.
Right.
Right.
You want to cut it close to the ball.
That's exactly why I brought up what you were cutting it with, because I want people to understand this that are out there that may be new to this.
I've got a set inside. I was using James Pollard's, which I haven't seen him here tonight. I was using his because he sent me his buckshot mold, but I have since shipped that on to the next recipient along with those cutters, and they work really good. They're just little handheld snips. They're wire cutters. They're automotive wire cutters. Matter of fact, if Mark will get on here, he can probably show them. There you go. Yeah, just a little set of snippers. Yep, there you go.
Very, very tiny, not that small.
And you just go snip, 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 and put that sprue back in the pot. And then you fill the pot up with all the sprues. I've got a whole pile of it sitting out here on top of a lounge chair that I've been drying out in the sun. And of course it rained, so got to start over. But then I got to bring those in here and snip, 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 put it in the pot. Snip, 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 put it in the pot. But that's buckshot.
So would you say that all of your actually casting stuff, I would imagine that your big pot, it doesn't really matter if it's clean or not because you're just melting the mass of the stuff down. But when you're actually molding projectiles, all that stuff pretty much just comes clean right away, right?
Yeah.
Like the metal on it, there's not a whole bunch of cleaning that you got to do to this equipment.
No, all of your dirt and trash and everything that's not what you want to use will float to the top.
When you first heat it up and you add the flux to it, which again, you can use wood shavings, you can use candle wax, whatever. I use wood shavings. That's just me. I work with wood quite a lot, so in general, I usually have wood shavings lying around, so it just works. But you'll add that flux to it, and right off the bat, within the first minute and a half, 2 minutes, it all raises to the top. And that's all the scrap, all the dirt, all the stuff you don't want in there, and you scoop it out, and you're good to go.
Pat, all I'll say is real men have sons first.
Oh,
Sorry, Tim.
in most cases.
He knows I'm just kidding.
Damn, I had 2 sons first. Aha!
Okay, Jamie. So Andy sent you the 64 grain and the 57 grain lead 223.
He, one of them is a flat point, and the other one is a round point.
Yeah. Okay. The round point is 64 grains.
62 grain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut these open because y'all just can't get a good enough look at these.
What are you going to use as powder, Jamie?
How about some Shooter's World tactical rifle?
Well, how about some heavy pistol?
Well,
I'm going to be using
really
I'm going to use about 10 grains of heavy pistol.
You sure
I love
did
that.
enjoy saying that Shooter's World heavy pistol in that video. I wish I had $1
Shooter's
for
World heavy pistol.
I wished I had $1 for every time I heard that, man. That was really cool. But
Then I'm going to use about 10 grains of 2400 too.
We've been talking about doing that since we first got into since 350 Legend came out. And
I still think that Buffalo rifle is going to be one way to go.
Probably with a little bit the heavier type bullets. I think you're right.
I don't know that it'll gas up a gas gun enough to operate, but I think it'd be really, really good for for that 350 Legend.
I would have to agree. Just because of what it is. All right, let me see if I can do this. The it's straight sided. It's just about got to work in 350 Legend. All right, here's the flat point. The flat point is in lead. It's 57 grain.
Yeah.
Am I going to have to do
Now,
this?
are they powder coated?
No, these are zinc.
Oh, they're zinc.
Yeah,
So they're like what? 13 grains, 15 grains?
let's find out. Let me show the other one first. All right, this one's a 62 grain. It's a round point. And again, that's just beautiful work. And I know it ain't showing up on the camera, but Andy does such great work. And that zinc, man, everything's backwards. The lines are just so sharp. Let me get out my Wild Woo and get this off of me. He wrote 139 to 140 grains, and I know that was a misprint on the label. So we'll just weigh them. Okay, the round nose, which are 162 grain rated, is 39.8 grains. That's about what a 22 long rifle weighs. And the flat nose, which is a 57, is 35.9. So 39, 30, 35 and a half, 36.
Wow. Well, you ought to be able to make them buzz.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, the ones he sent me are lead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because he powder coated them.
Okay.
I'm going to be testing them pretty quick. Well, you'll want to use a rifle powder behind them zinc.
There's our buddy James of Veskage. What's up, brother? It's good to see you out, man. And we got show this. Y'all, if you like what we're doing here, give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. If you hadn't already, subbing wouldn't hurt our feelings either. So I did a couple of videos this past week. Yeah, okay. About James and the tragedy in James's family. I hope y'all saw those, and I want to thank all you guys that were praying with us for James and his family. And kind of hard to know what to say in a situation like that, but I don't think you got to say much of anything. You just basically let somebody know that they're there. So you're there, and you're praying for them, and you care about them. And we care about all you guys. We spend all of our Friday nights together. So pretty cool. I know, James. Good to see you back in here with us, buddy. That'll help you. Yeah, 305 is bad, but 450 is worse. Yeah. So, Tim, I noticed that your gun was running those things awful sweet in your video, and with that flat point in the AR, it kind of surprised me a little bit, but
Well, I actually bought that mold for the 350 Legend because it was gas checked and it was about the right bullet design I felt for that. Now, if this thunder gets too loud, tell me so I can shut the door again, but it's getting hot in this garage.
You good, man.
Okay. But yeah, remember I was telling you guys I think it was in Jim's chat that I was having trouble with that 350 Legend running. I thought it was firing before it went in the battery, and sometimes it had a dead trigger and all that. Well, I took the bolt out and I cleaned it really good, and I greased the heck out of it, and that's one reason why it was running so smooth, Jamie.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
But you're not supposed to run too much grease on your bolt. It just enough to help it move. So I'll have to take it apart and clean it again, I'm sure.
No, man, run it. I'll show you what I use, but I'm fine one. Here you go.
It's just what I was going to do. Oh, there it is.
How many of you guys know what that is?
I have no idea.
It says grease, rifle.
Oh, is that military?
That's military issue M1 Garand grease.
Right here's what I've been using.
There you go.
And it's in this syringe type doohickey, but it seems like just about the time it comes out. Kind of like ketchup, like Heinz 57.
Yeah. William Ganley calls that M1 grease pipe. So yeah, it's just a little bitty thing, and I typically just use a Q-tip or my pinky finger and rub it on there. On the AR bolts, you got like three areas that are rubbing and the
Right.
receiver going back and forth like that.
Sometimes I use this PTFE or something, PTF something, Super Lube. You can get it Harbor Freight or Midway. I use that occasionally on slides and ARs.
Very cool, man.
Mm-hmm. It's clear too and clean.
Huh. I'd try that. I need to get me some Balisol. I think that would work really good cleaning a boat.
Mm-hmm. I need to get some of that Balisol. Try it.
I think Uncle Jim uses a Sonic cleaner. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't have one. Maybe he uses. I don't know what he uses. If you're listening, Jim, what do you use to clean your boat? I don't have the side chat, Jamie.
Okay, if I see it, I'll put it up there.
All right.
Chris 338 uses high temp wheel bearing grease.
I tried that. I didn't particularly care for it.
Well, that's what I was using to start with, and I really don't. I don't want to sound racist. I don't really like the white grease. I like the black grease better.
This is a very, very thin grease, Tim. I mean, not thin,
Right.
but it's not quite as thick as automotive stuff.
And yeah, that's the way with this black grease. It's not near as thick.
You're
Hey,
putting
Jamie,
grease on your bolt.
Andy send you any of these in zinc?
Yes, about a year or so ago.
Okay, yeah, that's when he sent me some too. I haven't tried them yet.
You saying something,
350.
Kingpin? Are you saying something, brother?
Yeah, my bad. You guys are talking about putting this grease on your bolts for your bolt actions, or are you talking about semi-auto bolts?
ARs.
AR.
Okay.
Yeah, Echo. Mine is a synthetic grease, very light grease. It's not I mean, it sticks, but it's not gummy or weird and thick like.
Yeah, see, what I was using was Outer's oil, and somebody told me don't do that because it hardens when it's when the dust and the dirt and the smoke hits it, it hardens.
I've heard of Lubriplate over the years.
Yeah, now on both actions, I don't use any grease at all. I just use mineral oil.
I put a little of that super lube on my finger and I put it on the bolt lug. And
I've started using that black grease on my boats, on my boat actions. They seem to not bind up as bad.
Boat lug should be greased, but slightly, very slightly.
Ever so slight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that 196 grain round point. When I had the 358 barrel, I ran up on a load that shot 5 shots in one hole at 50 yards with those bullets.
Really?
Those things will shoot out of that barrel. And
now, was a pretty warm, Jamie? What velocity was they?
That was around, if I remember correctly, that was around about like your video, somewhere around 2,050 and 2,200 feet per second. It seems to be the sweet spot.
I'm starting to notice that about this gun. It really doesn't matter the heaviness of the barrel. It's more the velocity. It's somewhere around 2,100 feet per second is just sweet.
Is a sweet spot for that, for that round.
I was kind of hoping Chico was on here because he sent me these 147 grain full metal jacket bullets, 9mm. And I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he sent me a list, but I don't remember what they are. And I shot them the other day in that 350 Legend. Man, they shoot really good. Right around 2150.
Would you consider that a flat nose, the bullet that you showed?
Yep, that's a flat nose.
Yeah, 350 Legends, a rifle round, right?
Right.
Yes.
Do you tend to shoot a lot of flat nose rifle rounds?
In the slower calibers, around 2,000, 2,100 feet per second. Yes.
See, I'm not familiar. The only thing I know about 350 Legend is what you guys have always talked about. So I don't know if that's a high velocity round or if it's basically like a pistol caliber round.
It's higher than a pistol caliber, but it's slower than a rifle. Because your rifles normally run around 25 up to 3,000. Unless you're into like 22 250s or 204s, they run around 4,000 feet per second.
Yeah, let's address Echo's comment right here. Hey, OCD, I got something to show you too here in a minute. Y'all gonna be making fun of me, I know, but I can't help it. It's my opinion, and Echo, correct me if I'm wrong, but after you get a few rounds on an AR bolt, and you can see where the finish is wearing off, that's where you want your grease. And it'll reveal itself to you in a few rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true, Jamie, in my opinion.
There's two thoughts on that. Some people will put a very light grease on the ring. Some people put oil. There's two versions of that. I guess it's personal opinion on it.
Well, I don't put any petroleum-based products on anything that's made out of rubber because it's a petroleum-based product as well, and it will deteriorate it.
Yeah.
So on the rare occasions that I'll actually take a AR-15 bolt apart, put it back together, I use this white lithium grease on that stuff right there on the O-rings in the bolt.
I'll put oil on the locking lugs, but I don't put grease. I put oil on the rings. When it comes to rubber, I use that quite a bit. That's another super lube. That's for O-rings. It doesn't damage rubber.
There you go. Synthetic stuff work great.
Yeah, O-rings. I use that for automotive, a number of things, but seals on motors, you name it.
That's good to know, AAB. Yeah. Because as a guy who loves lever actions, and what I think what we're getting at, Tim, is what we'd call an intermediate power round. Like
Right.
350 Legend, the 30-30s, 35 Remington, that kind of stuff. And then you got what I call the high power would be your military type stuff. And
Right. Your
stuff like
bottlenecks.
bottleneck cartridges, 8mm 7.62 by 54R, 30-06, and up. The 30-06 is powerful. I just love 30-06.
I'm gonna say that, you know what a lot of the old timers use if you look on YouTube, putting oil on AR boat carriers and all that? A shaving brush. So put the oil on there. I've seen that quite a bit.
Well, I got one in there that's just gathering dust because I ain't used it in 3 years. So
It's good. It's good to lube ARs, those brushes.
there you go. Good night, Tex.
Yeah, good night.
Night Tex.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And we're pretty much in a wet, humid climate here in Georgia because we got oceans all around.
Yeah, it's damp here too because we always get a breeze from the Gulf.
Where you at, Tim?
Missouri.
Okay.
So it's always humid here too. Our humidity is always above 50%, seems like.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I generally, when I use this stuff, I generally put a drop or two of oil on the top of it, and it works really well. Really does. I really like it. Go ahead, Scotsman. You were going to say something earlier. Welcome back, Lakeview. So, remind me to ask Scotsman what he was going to say earlier when he got.
It's been a minute. I totally lost track.
I forgot what we were talking about then too.
It's been a hot minute, so yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's Friday and it's been a hot minute. So
Yeah.
if you have an idea of where I was going, let me know, and then I might be able to jump back on track.
We were talking about grease and oil on AR-15 or AR type bolts.
I mean, as far as grease goes, or any type of oil goes, you all know C-Max did a test about 3 or 4 years back, and he tested, I'm going to say probably at least 7 or 8 different oils, and the one that stood out and performed the best was M Pro 7, and M Pro 7 is all I use for everything, minus greasing ARs when I'm greasing when I'm greasing the barrel nut. Everything else is all M Pro 7. M Pro 7 is probably one of the best oils I've found out there, period. I've had zero issues with it whatsoever. If you end up with a firearm that is struggling, it doesn't want to cycle right, throw some M Pro 7 on there and bam. It's a miracle worker. It really is.
Is it an oil, a Scotsman, or a CLP type cleaner oil?
It's an oil.
Okay.
It's kind of so. M Pro 7 is still a part of. Oh hell, what's the name of it? Damn it! Someone help me out. They're all one company.
I got nothing except maybe Lucas.
No, it's not Lucas. It's
Look it up.
You know, I remember that video, but I don't remember the details. Ain't that weird?
M Pro 7 is a part of the regular, just the regular oil. God dang it!
I'm looking it up, Scotsman.
Okay, you were looking it up. I was about to. Go ahead.
Okay.
Man, I feel so stupid. I can't remember the freaking name.
Don't feel stupid, feel old.
I am old. It's just terrible, man. It's terrible.
Peas.
Got everything on it, but I don't see who.
Come on up.
Yeah, yeah, Hoppies. It's a part of Hoppies.
Oh, is
okay.
it puppies?
Okay.
They're all the same company, but M Pro 7, it's basically like a synthetic mix, but out of the testing that C-Max did, and he did it over a year, bear this in mind. So for everyone out there that may be a doubter, he did this over a year to see what was the best rust prohibiting and what had the best capabilities of maintaining, and M Pro 7 came out on top.
I seen that Russian. C-Max did.
And ever since then, when I saw that video, that's all I ever used. And M Pro 7, I probably have 5 or 6 bottles of it. I got a bottle everywhere. To me, it's one of the best ones out there. I love the stuff. I use it everywhere. Zero issues.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for dropping in, Rollis.
Everybody's got their own idea of what to use. Just make sure your boat's wet sometimes.
That's it. And, that's the biggest thing is just making sure that you ain't dry.
Keep her
That's
wet.
what she said.
Yeah, keep her wet.
No, just remember, guys, no one likes a dry pussy.
That's right.
Thanks for coming in, James. We appreciate it. Good to see you, brother. Prayers still coming up for you too, brother. There you go. Yeah, we all need to get to the range more. I don't know if y'all saw it, but what's his name? Oh, heck dang. PCC kid and oh golly, now I'm having a brain fart, Scotsman.
I would say welcome to the club, but you've been in the club a lot longer than me, brother.
Before.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Anyway, he did a range video today, and there was like nobody there, and I would love it if I could go to the range and there wouldn't nobody be there. Is that what you've been seeing, Tim?
I've been going to the range, and I haven't had any. Well, the first time I went since I've moved here to Marshfield, there was somebody there, and ever since then, I was run off by the mower one time.
Run off
But
by the
mine's a members only, and this primer shortage and ammunition shortage is keeping a lot of people from the range.
Yep.
Look at there. There's Mark. What's going on, MCK?
Howdy, MCK. Hey, thanks for the Shooter's World Heavy Pistol, buddy. Did you like that, Jamie?
Yeah, you love saying that, don't you? I'm telling you what, man. Me and Kyle both are big fans of Shooter's World Heavy Pistol.
I can't get it around here, and it aggravates me so bad. I went to several shops here around Springfield, Missouri, and I just cannot find it.
So I have, what the hell did I buy? 8 pounds of it. I got it off, what the hell's that website?
Powder Valley.
Yeah, Powder Valley. I bought off of them. I think I bought 8 pounds of it. And I got it for a good deal. I still haven't touched it yet. I'm still burning through all my other powders first.
Well, you better touch it because it's good stuff.
I will. Trust me, I will. I'm starting to run low on a lot of other powders, so it's coming up fast.
It's a whole lot like Accurate number 9. Actually, it could be the same thing.
It's I'm gonna say I'm probably about 1.5 pounds away from opening the bottle.
Well, I'm telling you, man, for most of the stuff you shoot, 357 and 44 Magnum, is made for that stuff. K24. That's exactly who I'm trying to think of. Sorry, bro.
I still got plenty of 2400 for all that, but it's it'll get used. Don't worry.
Now, see, we can't hardly find 2400 around here. I have not ever tried 2400.
I'm on.
Oh my Lord, Jamie!
I know.
That's one of my favorites.
Hold on. Stop. You've never used 2400?
Never used it.
What's behind you, Kyle?
Okay, so for anyone out there who is a part of the government, go fuck yourselves. Jamie, you're getting a package in the mail, whether you like it or not. Shut the fuck up. Don't open it on camera. And yes, you will be loading. So yeah, shut the fuck up. It's coming.
It's coming. I've done worse. Don't argue with the Scotsman. You just receive.
On a lighter note, other than how about them Braves, somebody asked me what's behind me. Well, it's just this little mosaic doodad. But at the top of it, right up there, is it's what part of shall not be infringed do you not understand? And it says wait for flash and smile.
That's right. Smile.
And then above it is a sign that Angel found and brought over here that says a dirty hoe is a happy hoe. Now, for those of y'all that know Angel, you'll really get that. she's really into plants.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
spelled correctly. HOEHOE.
Yep. She's in the plants. We'll leave it at that.
Reloader 762. You're so right. 2400 is just it's cats me out.
It's
Dude.
fun. It is
2400 is the bomb, man.
Yeah.
I'm 2400 is probably one of my favorite polygons ever. And
Yeah.
I really cannot believe that Jamie's never used it. So yeah, it's happening, brother. Whether you like it or not, it's happening.
Next time he would be here, I would be more than happy to give him some, but I'm out.
Here's a little trivia. Where did 2400 get its name?
Because I didn't think they'd come up with a perfect powder until the year 2400.
No. Does anybody not know what it is?
I have no clue.
Okay, they were looking for a powder for the 22 Hornet to push it to 2,400 feet per second, and this was the powder.
Cool.
Before it got 2,400.
It's kind of ironic that it works great in 38, 357, and 44, yet they want it for a 22.
Yep. It was designed for the 22 Hornet to get it up to 2,400 feet per second.
Well, you can always find other uses for powder. 4895 was invented for the 30-06 for the U.S. Army, and I know people that shoot 9mm with it. So, whatever.
Mike Hester got it right.
Okay, Tom.
Scott,
I want to test your theory. What do we do with this?
pour gas on it and set it on fire.
I would say load 4 shotguns, but since I don't load 4 shotguns,
you take it out back, you stick it in a burn barrel, and you spark that bitch up.
no, you find the hot tub that you're looking to get rid of, but the county trash service won't pick it up. So you put about 6 of those inside of it.
You can work it on that, I'm sure. I'll find this in the 350 Legend, but I don't know with the trouble I had in the 350 Magnum.
I've never played it.
You know, all you guys are having problems with 350 Legend. It's like I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to touch it.
Don't.
No problem, Scott.
So MCK's out of here. MCK, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you, man. See who else we got up there. Good on a good note, on an absolute freaking awesome note. Kingpin picks up his CZ tomorrow. Hell yeah, brother.
All right, time out. That's what I've been trying to get your attention about for the last 5 minutes. Guess who bought a CZ?
You'll never guess.
Oh, I know. Willie bought a CZ.
Yes.
Willie. So for those of you out there that don't know, and Willie texted me because he was so happy, and I love it. I do. I love it. So Willie texted me. He bought a CZ 97. He bought the CZ in the 45, and that's freaking awesome. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you coming out here and letting us shoot it, Willie?
Okay. If y'all humor me for a minute or two. Back on March the 10th, Willie sent me a package, and it never got here. And so we waited about a month, and he sent me another package, and I did an unboxing video on that. And yes, way. Jason, we'll get to that in a minute. Willie got a CZ. If I can show this stuff that Willie sent me, first of all, he sent me some 6.5 Creedmoor brass. He sent me a Lyman D5 reloading scale. It's a Lyman Ojos. But he also sent me another one in the second package. The main thing he sent me was this big old honking thing. This is a vintage RCBS rock chucker. And I'm looking so forward to I'm going to do videos on reconditioning both of these. The other one is a RCBS Junior 3. So I'm going to be doing videos on cleaning these up.
Let me answer Jason Stewart's question. 124 grain 9mm. I don't know what you guys all use, but I like to use Power Pistol, and I use, on average, I use about 5.3 grains of Power Pistol.
And what grain bullet?
124.
124. Right now, I'm using accurate number 7 or number 5.
Tight group and Power Pistol for me.
Tight group.
I agree with Jamie.
I got some Power Pistol.
And tight group, you can get away with like 3.4 grains.
Okay, back to the Willie unboxing. I got some of these Midway second bullets.
Blow yourself up, man. How are you doing? It's amateur hour up here. What the hell?
Enlarge yourself. There you are.
Blow yourself up.
These are 8mm bullets, and they are 185 grain, and they're soft points, as y'all can see. So those are going to be great hunting bullets out of the K98. And this is the second box, and these are 6.5 Creedmoor bullets, 140 grain, and both of these are seconds of Remington core locks. And these right here are sexy right here.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, nice.
So and they too are soft points. You know, core locks are hunting bullets, but I think with that long of a bullet, those are going to shoot great out of the Ruger American Predator. Then let's see what else we got, because this box is cram packed full. Got some 8mm Mauser dies. We got the handle and the primer catcher for the RCBS rock chucker. I got to show you all this box.
Back when they made rock chuckers good.
See that hole in the corner?
Yeah, that's the box that went missing. Yeah, I heard that.
That's the box that went missing. He had the primer tubes and all that stuff in that box. And when I got home from work that day, this box I just showed you was in this box.
I've got a couple of those in the basement.
So thanks, Willie. Oh, one more thing.
I can't believe that box showed up 3 months later.
Yeah.
That's true.
James Pollard's here, Jamie. Didn't you say you were looking for him?
No, I don't have frogs.
That's Kyle.
One more thing I gotta show you is I got this box from Willie, but it's not what you think. It's not a gauge. It's an inside reamer.
Yeah.
And see, if I can explain that, and I really don't. Well, here's one. Just any old case will do. As you're going along doing your reloading and stuff, and you shove this thing up into a full-length sizing die, and we do what we call bumping our shoulders back, right here. So right there where that neck, where the this part, the thin part, meets with the shoulder, the neck meets the shoulder right there.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside, the brass tends to build up right there, and it forms a donut inside there. And I don't know how many of y'all have thought about that or anything like that, but yeah, that will get that donut out of there, and it makes it more even pressure on the neck. So I'm looking forward to using all that stuff. Willie's my brother.
Jamie, I didn't know you had a 6.5 Creedmoor.
It's fairly new.
I didn't either.
I bought the Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor, and I mounted my Arkin SH4 G2 scope on it. It's a 6x24 first focal plane mill dot. I meant to tell that while I hope Big Al's still on there. Mine's mill dot. His is a MOA. But yeah, I did. I bought the Magpul Hunter stock for it, and it's very much like a chassis. It's more like OCD has a video about them. So yeah.
Let us know how it shoots and accuracy down the road. Right.
Oh, you'll be seeing a good bit of it if I can ever get the honeydew list knocked down enough to be able to go to the range. So I just wanted to show off all that stuff and tell Willie a big thank you. And I will be looking at some burger bullets, OCD. One more thing I got is that scope I was talking to y'all. I showed y'all a link to last week. Before y'all started badmouthing it and everything, I had already ordered it. And it came in. So let's take a quick look at that. The Athlon. It's the and it comes with instructions, which I need instructions. And it comes packed very well. And I didn't notice it before I ordered it, but it does have this big butt ugly knob right there in front of your eye. And I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. And it's got very nice flip up covers. But right here on the eyepiece is your illumination.
Okay.
I almost called and canceled the order because of that. But this scope is this is an MOA scope, and it does not have a zero stop, I don't believe, but it's cheaper than the Arkin.
If it tracks for you, it's a good scope. Once you get it going.
Kenny was saying that it don't track well,
Right.
but on as I got to thinking about it, with what I do is hunting mostly more than I get to go to the range and shoot long distance. But as a hunting scope, I think I like this. My Arkin, the illumination is on the outside of your parallax adjustment, and it's easy to get those two mixed up. Like you'll be trying to adjust your parallax, and all of a sudden the illumination comes on. You understand what I mean? So I think for a hunting scope, this is going to be a better arrangement than the Arkin. But the Arkin is pretty much for long range type work anyway. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'll probably be doing some reviews and testing with this too. I'm probably going to put this scope on the 270. But I really do like that Nikon Buckmaster scope I got on that one.
I had one time. Worked good.
But so far, just for unboxing it, I really like this scope a lot. And it was a pretty good deal, I thought. And Scotsman, I think you'll like it if you get to shoot it, buddy, and you know you will. So that's where we're at. What else we got going on? Somebody's about to get arrested.
Yeah, I'm going to go in here and get out of the noise. Hang on.
You guys ever tried buying steel, or do they even sell steel or aluminum casing, like not fired yet, I guess new? And have you ever tried loading that stuff?
I have not, and I'll tell you why. The steel case stuff, I don't want in my dies. I just don't want to put that kind of hard stuff in my dies. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. When the steel casings that they use, when the company first does it, it's as soft as brass. But once it's fired, it gets real hard. So that's what makes it, when you reload it, not so good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if you just bought a bag of produced steel casing that hasn't been fired yet? Like you would buy a bag of new brass.
I don't know if anybody sells it.
I guess the aluminum would be the same way. Probably nobody has it.
I have reloaded aluminum before.
Do you find it to be tricky because of the softness, or does it work pretty good?
The only problem I had with it is they use kind of like a Burdan primer, and you have to drill that anvil out.
So what you're saying is, like, you fire a piece of brass, you poke out the primer, you clean the pocket, put a new one in, and then go for it. But the aluminum, it doesn't work the same way. You can't punch out the old one the same way.
Right, because they have the anvil's actually in the case, and it has two flash holes to the side.
So, how would you get a new primer in there?
Well,
Does it set just like anything else?
you can remove the primer cup that's in it, and then drill out the anvil. Or sometimes the aluminum's soft enough you can push out the anvil with the decapping rod.
Ozark. Yeah, they are. Ozark's right.
That's true.
So just use large pistol primers, fine, right?
Yeah, just drill out the whole thing, put a large pistol primer in it.
I tell you another project I'm on too, guys. How many of y'all know what this is, or have one, or use one? The Hornady overall length gauge, and you know you have to buy the modified cases to screw on there and put your bullet in.
I got the case today in 308. I got to buy that tool next.
Well, I have a modified case for 6.5 Creedmoor and 223. And when I bought these, they were $6. No big deal. Looked on Amazon to buy a couple today. Man, them things, they're up to $8 to $15.
That's ridiculous. I went today and got one, or yesterday, at a local mom and pop shop for $4.99.
Yeah, because it's been sitting there a while.
Yeah, they were out of everything. That was one of the few things left. I said, I'll take it.
Right. So what I did is I watched a couple of videos. That's a fact right there, Ozark. If I'd have had one of those, I wouldn't have had near as much trouble with 300 blackout. So I went and looked at a couple of videos, and I'm going to be making my own modified cases. I ordered I had the drill bit. I think it's a 9/32 drill bit, and it's a 5/16 by 36, I think, tap. And so I ordered it from Walmart just because they had the best price. Those things ain't cheap either. Just a die, just a regular tap, one tap. In that particular size, I found them anywhere from $8.99 on Amazon all the way up to $30 from Home Depot or more. And it just depends. Mike Hester's got one of those things too. So there's quite a few of us out there. I've seen 4 or 5 guys out there that's got the Hornady case gauge.
So that stick that you just had in your hand is what you're talking about?
Yes.
What is that for?
All right, let me see if I can show you. Let's grab this, and then we're going to be out of time, so we're going to have to. I got to hurry. Let me get this modified case out of here. It don't matter if we go a minute or two over, does it? Okay, what happens is you take this is your case gauge, and you take your modified case, this is the problem from Hornady. You're getting a factory piece. It's not been fired in your gun. So the measurement is not going to be accurate. And that's the reason I want to make my own, because I want them already fire formed to my chamber. Mm-hmm. So you take it and you screw that on there like that, and then you put a bullet in it. If I had a 6.5 Creedmoor bullet handy. Put the bullet in there like that. Shove it down in there. And then you take and put this in your gun. Take the bolt out first, of course. Chamber this and slide this piece back here. You slide it up and move the bullet into the lands, and then you tighten this screw down right here and pull this back out. Now, when you use this, chances are you push this bullet up into your rifling, so it's important that you tighten this here. And once you tighten this here, the bullet sticking in the lands and grooves makes no difference. You just knock it out with a cleaning rod and stick it back in there, and there you go. That tells you where you're hitting the lands and grooves, and then you back off. Most people say I like to start at 10 thousandths. Most people say start at 20 thousandths off the lands. Yes, I have the comparator too.
What do you got to cut the casing down then, or seat the bullet deeper?
Seat the bullet deeper.
Yeah, I think Panhandle Precision does 10,000 off the lands, right, Jamie? Something like that.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. So it varies. Yeah. That's good too. I got to get that next. Too.
Chris 338 has the setup, so it's a pretty good deal, man.
If I sneeze, y'all look out. That's why I've been muting occasionally.
That's right, Big E. Good point.
When I bought mine, Jamie, it didn't occur to me about the fire form chamber, the brass. Now it does.
Yeah, it makes sense, don't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Echo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, a lot of bench rest guys are measuring the distance they've got jammed into the lands. They're wanting it all the way in there to start with. So that's crazy to me. That's just a pressure spike in my mind.
But Jamie, that's how they get their pressure. They don't get it off the crimp.
I'm sorry, Tim. What?
That's how they get their pressure. They don't get it off the crimp.
Yeah, I don't grip bolt action either.
So if your bullet, when you pull the stick back out with the casing and the bullet comes out of the mouth, that means that the lands and grooves are holding the projectile. So if you're not touching them, the bullet will come out basically with the casing when you pull it out.
Well, remember, Kingpin, we've been talking about a fire form brass. So you're going to have to, if you want the bullet to stay in there, see when that expands, that bullet's just going to flop down in there. So unless you size your case, which is defeating the purpose, you're be chasing your tail around. So let's talk about more next week. OCD makes a good point that you're always limited by your magazine length. Not always. If you're you can load them longer than magazine length, but at that point you're single feeding them. You're putting them in there. You turn your rifle into a single shot, not a bolt action repeater. But on long range stuff, that's fine. But for the most of us, hunting rounds, no way. I ain't doing that.
Hey guys, I got to get off here. I just got a message. My grandson was in an auto accident.
Oh my goodness! Well, keep us updated, man.
Okay, guys. I'll see you next week or tomorrow or sometime.
All right, we're bailing out too, man.
Love y'all.
Love you, brother. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And we're just talking generalizations, Chris. Tika makes some good stuff, Paul. Yeah. Remington 700 used to be the standard by which all other things were measured. Now it's turned into
Trash. Garbage.
pretty much. All right, so let's go through the room, give our outros, get off of here, let these nice people get on with their weekends. Good night, Rebel. All right, AR, what you got working on? Gonna be doing anything?
Yeah, I was sizing today. I got a video out just goofing off doing the 223-556 press. sizing that. And I'm going to do the powder and the primer and the bullet and all that this weekend, maybe. So outside of that, that's it.
Case prep on 556223 can be never ending.
I use 2 different gauges just to show everyone on the video. It's just a short video. But glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Everybody in the side chat, have a good one.
Well, thanks for joining us. Mr. Kingpin, what do you got working on, buddy?
Oh man, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys letting me ask a bunch of questions and hog up a bunch of the airspace. I really learn a lot. Gizzard Gary's live, so if you guys are looking for another show to go to, you can go check that out. It's just Gizzard Gary on YouTube. Gun websites should be coming live pretty soon with the 2-way weekly wrap up. So there's plenty of good stuff to watch if you're looking for some more live streams tonight. But thank you for having me on this one, Jamie. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks for being here. We love all the questions. The Crazy Scotsman, how you doing, brother? You all right over there?
Wake up.
All right, you go ahead, Kyle. Maybe he'll chime in here in a minute.
All right, Hobo, I'll say goodbye to or good night to the frogs for you. Yeah, I had to come in here because they are getting active. Tis the season. I got to replenish a bunch of projectiles. I sent out a lot of packages this week, and I'm probably going to be casting in the morning before it gets hot, and then once the dew dries up, I got to mow the grass. It's been raining here so long that here so often. I'm about a week and a half behind. I'm going to have to cut the grass twice, and I'm hoping I can get it in before it rains again. It's just that way down here in Georgia. We'll be cursing the rain, then it won't rain for 4 months. So now I'm having to pay to water the grass. So that's my plans in the morning. I gotta cast up some shotgun slugs, probably some 9mm bullets, maybe some 45s. Might do some 40s. I don't know. Then I need to start sorting wheel weights and start making more ingots. And y'all know me. I say I'm running low when there's probably still 80 pounds of ingots out there and 5 buckets of wheel weights. But whatever. Other than that, I'm glad everybody was here tonight, and it was awesome to talk to everybody. And I'm glad everybody's still healthy and doing good. Send us off.
All right, Scotsman, are you there? All right, he probably had to go see a man about a horse or something like that. So. Anyway, guys, thank y'all for being here. I'm gonna be working on videos here the first part of next week, and then Tuesday or Wednesday I'm going on vacation. Next week it'll be Kyle, or we may have the week off next week. So that's up to Kyle. So we'll be looking for y'all. We really enjoyed our Friday nights with you guys. So I got a lot of ideas, but not a whole lot of time to make videos. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. We hope God blesses y'all real good. If you want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. You can get with us on Discord, the Reloaders Network. Remember to check out Uncle Jim tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Check out The Crazy Scotsman with Foreign and Domestic on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And we hope the Lord blesses you real good. Y'all say good night, guys.
Remember, keep your ice bags handy.